The body was identified by its shoes and clothing. The black boots still retained their shine. In one corner of the sole there was an image of a crocodile, and the golden nickel buckle was intact. The company's claim proved to be true. The grandeur of the shoes remained even after 30 years. This Swiss company made shoes for only 1,000 families in the world. The soles were made from the leather of New Zealand cattle. This was a special breed of cow with golden skin and blue horns, found nowhere else in the world. The toe of the shoe was made from the skin of Brazilian crocodiles. The upper part from the leather of the ears of African black elephants, while the inside lining was made from soft deer skin. As for the thread used, it was the same thread used in bulletproof jackets. The company claimed that the shoe polish would not deteriorate for 50 years, and that even after being buried in the soil for 100 years, the shoes would retain their shine. The King of Afghanistan, Zahir Shah, was a member of this company. When Zahir Shah went into exile, Sardar Daoud took over the company's membership and continued to wear its shoes at all times. Even on the day he was assassinated along with his family in 1978, he was wearing the same shoes. He was an unfortunate ruler. After his death, he was denied bathing, shrouding, and funeral prayers. 2 large graves were dug, and he was buried in one of them along with 30 members of his family. No funeral prayer was offered for any of them. He remained in that grave for 30 years. Then, on the 26th of June 2008, during an accidental excavation, both graves were discovered. It was because of the shoes that his body was identified. This was the first body in the world to be identified through shoes, and for the first time, shoes told the world that their owner was General Sardar Muhammad Daoud Khan. Sardar Muhammad Daoud Khan belonged to the Afghan royal family of the Musahiban Muhammadzi dynasty. He was born on the 18th of July 1909. He received his early education at Jalili School in Kabul, secondary education at Armenia College, and higher education in France. He was a graduate of the Saint Cyr Military Academy. Upon returning, he joined the Afghan army and was promoted to Major General at the age of just 24. In 1932, at only 25 years old, he became the general officer commanding of Nangarhar province. In 1935, he was appointed GOC of Kandahar and promoted to the rank of lieutenant general the same year, becoming the youngest general in the world. In 1946, he was appointed Minister of Defense while still in uniform. He also served as ambassador to Paris, Bern, and Brussels. During this time, King Zahir Shah gave him the hand of his sister, Princess Zainab, in marriage. In 1952, as the king's personal envoy, he traveled to Moscow to attend the funeral of Soviet leader Marshal Stalin. From there began the second phase of his life. He became favored by the Soviet leadership and the KGB, which began supporting him. In September 1953, the king appointed him Prime Minister of Afghanistan. He became the world's first prime minister in military uniform. He simultaneously held the positions of Prime Minister, Minister of Defense, and Army Chief. Upon taking oath, he appointed his brother Sardar Muhammad Azim as foreign minister and gradually consolidated all power in his own hands. He was an ideological ally of the Soviet Union and, at Russia's urging, initiated the Pashtunistan movement in Pakistan. King Zahir Shah recognized Daoud's ambitions and adventurous nature, and on the 3rd of March 1963 forced him to resign. After this, Daoud began conspiring against the king. When the king learned of this, he amended Afghanistan's constitution on the 1st of October 1964. Barring members of the royal family from participating in politics. The king managed to block Daoud's political path, but he forgot that even the strongest constitution cannot stop the military. On the 17th of July 1973, while Zahir Shah was in Italy for medical treatment, Daoud overthrew the monarchy and imposed martial law. He annulled the 1964 constitution, renamed the country the Republic of Afghanistan, and assumed the offices of President, Prime Minister, and Chairman of the Central Committee simultaneously. On the 28th of July, he dissolved Parliament and became an absolute ruler. Though considered enlightened and moderate, he banned veils and beards, made skirts compulsory in women's colleges and universities, locked mosques, and established liquor bars and disco clubs in 8 major cities. During Daoud's era, Kabul became a hub of indulgence for tourists from around the world. At that time, Europe began in Kabul. After Kabul came Tehran, then Istanbul, and after that, the rest of Eastern Europe opened up to pleasure seekers. Daoud also established hundreds of torture centers across the country. Intelligence agents would abduct his opponents in broad daylight, after which no trace of them was ever found. During his rule, nearly 30,000 people were labeled missing persons, and their families never even found their graves. In January 1974, a minor rebellion erupted against him, which he crushed by beheading all the rebels. While his oppression continued at home, he presented himself to the global media as a democratic and progressive leader. He maintained relations with both the Soviet Union and the West. On the 27th of February 1977, he introduced a new constitution, establishing a presidential system and a single-party state. By then, his confidence had reached its peak. In March 1977, he formed a new cabinet and distributed all key positions among his family members and close friends. By then, public anger had reached boiling point. The 2 major political parties, Khalq and Parcham, turned against him. Protests, political assassinations, and unrest erupted across the country. True to his brutal nature, he began eliminating his opponents. On the 17th of April 1978, he had his biggest opponent, communist leader Mir Akbar Khan, assassinated. This murder unified public hatred against him. Just 10 days later, on the 27th of April, a military coup took place. The army shot Daoud, his brothers, wives, daughters, grandsons, and granddaughters. In total, 30 members of his family were killed. Daoud's body was tied to a jeep and dragged through the streets of Kabul. Wherever his body passed, people spat on it and kicked it. By evening, the procession ended, and without funeral rites, washing, or shrouding. His body was buried in a mass grave along with the bodies of his family members. Thus, Sardar Muhammad Daoud Khan's body remained in an unmarked grave for 30 years. Then, on the 26th of June 2008, two mass graves were discovered during excavation in Kabul. Each grave contained 16 bodies. On one body's feet were shoes made of crocodile skin. As soon as the dust was brushed off the shoes, their polish began to shine, revealing the truth and bringing Daoud's body to light. When I read this news, I held my ears in shock and sought forgiveness from Allah Almighty. How strange is Allah's system when He detests a tyrant. Even the tyrant's grave is not spared. Even 30 years after death, the punishment does not end. Indeed, tyrants may force entire nations to bow before them, but they can never defeat time. They cannot deceive Allah, and when Allah despises someone, He turns even their shoes into evidence, their grave into an inscription. He does not let them truly die, even after death. For more lessonable stories, like, share and subscribe to our channel.